Okay, this lesson I'm going to present to you the conditional. It's fairly straightforward, but it's also kind of cool. So, give you an introduction, I'll start with VII verbs. If I wanted to say something like, if it rains, I'm going to drive, I would start with basically what is the conjunct form of the VII verb. So we have kimawan, kimawak, ikimawak, as it is raining. And you don't put any prefix on it at all, and you add an I to the end. So you end up with kimawake. And that means if it rains, or in the case that it rains, or when it rains, or something like that. It's sort of we call it an irrealis, meaning that it's referring to an event that is not actually concretely happening. Like, it could happen. It's hypothetical. If it rains, or when it rains, I'll go. So, the whole sentence would be, Kimawake ngape paminagan. So, paminageo is to drive somewhere. And ngape paminagan, I'm going to drive. Ngape paminagan, I'll come by driving. So, kimawake ngape paminagan. Or, kimawake ngatoshkan niganak. If it rains, I'll work at home. Ngatoshkan, okay, niganak kiko. How does it go? Kigawak, nigawak, kigawak, nigawak. Oh man. Okay, Wikawak is at his home. Kikawak is at your home. I want to say Niganak from my home, but I think it's Nigiwak. Anyways, or Dama Maison. I'll work in my house. Kimawaki ngatoshkan Dama Maison. Now I'll give you a bunch of other examples as I can think of them. Okay. Mishpoke mi bon soulier ngapochishken. If it snows, I'm gonna wear my good boots. My good shoes. Mishpoke mo kapo ngapochishken. Or gakishken. Pochishkam means to wear something. Kishkam also means to wear something. Pochishkam is he's wearing it. Kishkam means either he's wearing it or he's putting it on. I can't remember which one. Anyways, largely in Michif they mean the exact same thing to a lot of speakers, but some people get picky about it. So that's VII. Pretty straightforward. And I won't get into plural yet. Now we'll go to VAI verbs. And again, it's the exact same thing. You just add a little I to the end. So let's start with this. If you aren't sleeping, I'll work. Or no, let's say that. If you're sleeping, I won't sing. Nepaya ne moyanga nagamon. Moya nga nagamon nepaya ne. Now, starting with that again. You remember how I talked about how the chiatoshke yan for me to work, chiatoshke yen for you to work. Remember how I talked about that yen used to be yan? Well, you'll notice that in this type of an ending, when you add an I to it, it is a it's not an e. So it's not atoshke yene, it's atoshke yane. Atoshke yane. Like if you're working, atoshkene ngakchipa pin. If you're working, I'm gonna really have a great laugh. Kishche is great, like kichimanato, great spirit, or kishchimokumana, skik, United States. Well, that's Cree. Both of those ones. But kishche, you can say kichip, kichimarsi. I can say great thanks, or kichipa piu. It's a great big laugh. So ngakchipa pin atoshkea ne. Since I don't believe you actually work, or you can say something like that. Okay. Now let's see. if I'm hungry, I'll eat. Nohte, okay, nohte kateo is to be hungry, okay? And nohte katan is I am hungry. And don't ask me what that kateo means, because nohte, of course, means the preverb to want, but kateo is just the verb together. Nohte katan and nohte katan. I'm hungry. We don't really have that word. Kikateo or something. Kikatan. We don't really have that word, so I don't know exactly what it means in isolation. Anyways, in nohte katan, you'd say, nohte kateane, nohte kateane gamit shon. If I'm hungry, I'll eat. Or if I'm hungry, I eat. Or when I'm hungry, I eat. Nohte kateane gamit shon. Eka nohte kateane moya non meat shon. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. Okay, so that's niya kia. Now for wiya. Now remember the basic conjunct for VAI verbs with with wiya would be just to add the t at the end, right? Apiu bigo chiapit. Sapran chiapit. Pamoyen chiapit. Well, when you add an I to the end of this, it's the exact same thing that happens in all of those in all the plural endings for that, where that T becomes a ch, right? So you end up with apiche, would mean if he is sitting or when he sits. Miumachiho. Apiche miumachiho. When he sits, he feels good. Nagamoche. How does it go? Miuhtago shu. Nagamoche miuhtagoshu. When he sings, he sounds good. And you could even say it with ashpe. Ashpe nagamoche miuhtagoshu. Is it puhtateo? No, I remember. Okay. I was trying to think of one that he smell. Okay. We'll do this one. When mother cooks, the food tastes good. So that would be, and I'm going to use, is it kishtageo? Kichigeo? Oh man, I can't remember kishpo. I can't remember the verb for to cook. I just want to say he's making food. Le manger style, and that's a VAIT verb, right? So that would be le manger au shitache ne mama miumagwani yik or miumagwani you. Miumagwani you, because say my mother is cooking, the food tastes good. Well, that's two third persons. So you would say le manger au shitache, manger ne mama au shitache, miunagwani you, miunagwani you. Now, going back to VAI verbs. Remember how we did plurals in the plurals in conjunct? Like, it's not possible that it's going to rain. Pa moyen e we kimewak. Okay, no, you change it to ak. I don't like it that the table is ugly. Moyan miueten ka mayinagwa ke litab. The tables. I don't like it that the tables are ugly. Moya non miueten litab ka mainag or litab ka mainagwa ke. So that mainagwa ke ka mainagwa ke. It's something to keep in mind is that ka mainagwa ke is the plural, but if you go to dubitative or conditional sort of thing, you'd end up with just mai magwa ke without any verb before it, and it just means if it, like it's singular. So that's kind of a place where sometimes it can be a little confusing, or there can be things that sound sort of similar to each other. Now, okay, VAI, now VTI. So nishtohtam. Actually, wait, no, sorry, I went on too soon. VAI. So if, let's start with kia wao. Remember how we had in VTA verbs like nuap maig or chuap maig, that you see him, or chuap maegok, that you see them, and how after egg you get o. Well, the same thing happens here in the conditional. Atoshkeego, that would mean if you guys work. Kakishtanan. We're going to complete everything. Kakishtanan. So the same, again, the same rule. So aiego for VAI verbs, or aiego, apiego. If you guys sit down, kagamiumachahon na wow. If you guys sit down, you'll feel comfortable. Kagamiuapin then, kagamiuapin na wow. I really like that story of la petite fille si jouant alors. Pitroalinor, the little girl with the golden hair and 3 bears, Goldilocks, right? And Goldilocks sits down in the baby's chair, and the guy who's telling the story there, if you look at it online, he says, "Oh, ja, miwa bin," or miwa bin, or something like that. It's like, wow, that's a devil of a good sit. I just love how it translates into English. Anyways, continuing on. Okay, kianan and nianan. I already did kia wao would be apiego. Nianan would be nagamoyahke. Nagamoyahke would be nianan, and nagamoyahke would be kianan, or nagamoyahko. I think it's nagamoyahke. Okay. Okay, I'll stop there for now, and I'll come back and do plural. Actually, no, I can do VTA now as well. No, I'll come back and do it later.